Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo, and this is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest, many online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors who get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited to be here with Sandy Scrogum. Sandy, it's great to be with you.
I'm happy to be here. So excited. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. So tell us, what is it that you do? What do you offer at our events?
Well, at MeWe Fair specifically, I'm excited to share the transformative power of hypnosis, specifically five path advanced hypnosis and seventh path self hypnosis. My focus is on helping people tap into their inner resources to break through mental barriers, shift limiting beliefs, and create the life they truly want. Um, During the fair, I'll be offering complimentary mini hypnosis sessions focused on relaxation and confidence building. These short experiences give people the feel of what hypnosis is like and how it can help them shift into an empowered state of mind. I also obviously enjoy like one-on-one conversations like most other people do. But when they're curious about hypnosis, and to hear about what they're looking for, whether it's stress relief, personal transformation, or tools for self-discovery. Uh, Hypnosis is a powerful and natural process, and ultimately, my goal is to demystify it and help people understand how it can support them in real and tangible ways, whether they've experienced it or not before. It's just always fun to talk about and hear what people have to say about it.
Yeah, that's all great. I was just thinking it might be good to just to share a little bit now of like what hypnosis is and like what people might experience when they're there. And you said a little bit of what it's good for, and maybe just lay out a little bit more of like the range of things. And feel free to talk too about the things that you do in private sessions and what a private session is like for people. That's totally great, even if it's not at the fair.
Sure. Okay. So I noticed that one of the questions was, about questions that spontaneously arrive, and you just happened to hit on the ones that do typically come up. Because hypnosis isn't something that's just common knowledge for most people. However, that's crazy because it's just a natural state of mind that all humans have experienced already. We just don't have a label for it, so we don't really realize it. So like I said, hypnosis is a completely natural state of mind, one that we all experience in our daily lives. It's a state of focused awareness, similar to being deeply absorbed in a book or a movie, or even a lot of people say they zone out when they're driving. That's hypnosis. One common example is daydreaming or getting so lost in a task that time seems to disappear. Typically, when we're being creative or really engaged in a task that we love. In hypnosis sessions, we intentionally enter this state to work directly with the subconscious mind, where deep rooted beliefs and patterns live. And I conduct most of my sessions online. Psychology has shown us that human beings um, process change quicker in their own environment and where they're comfortable. So we take advantage of that and do them online. I do on occasion for specific situations for individuals who, for whatever reason, I mean, we are all our own people. Most people love online though, because like I said, they're comfortable in their own home. There's no pet sitters, kid sitters, commuting, any of those hassles that can get in the way of trying to make it to different places. But what's interesting is hypnosis is powerful because, as I kind of touched on before, it allows us to reject limiting beliefs, the ones that we unconsciously pick up just by living in society. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just things that we kind of pick up and accept and live with as truths. And we can replace those limiting beliefs with new, more personally empowering beliefs, which I
Mm-hmm.
find quite fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then,
And is it just the idea, I'm going to use like just common cultural language, like the idea that we're more open to suggestion when we're in that state, and so it's easier to shift things, or
so that is the way a lot of people would word it. I
yeah.
stray from describing it as being more open to suggestions, because while that's like true, the only suggestions, so traditional hypnotists use suggestions. I'm a five path and seventh path hypnotist. I also use suggestions, but the suggestions that I use are suggestions that you have given me related to what you're seeking. So I'm only feeding you back what you've told me
Mhm.
that you want. And I don't want to group all traditional hypnotists because they all have their own approach. And
Yeah.
obviously, things vary depending on who you're working with. But one of the things that separates what I do from traditional hypnotism is that everything that we do together is extremely tailored and customized for each individual based on what they're seeking. I do have some standardized processes that I use, hence the 5 path hypnosis and 7th path self-hypnosis, but 5 path is just a highly structured system that helps people work through these deep-rooted challenges in a step-by-step process, to clear those limiting beliefs, any emotional baggage, and any internal conflicts that might be blocking their personal successes that they're hoping and wanting to accomplish in their life. Um, it's interesting because it takes traditional hypnosis and you apply this process and you eliminate some of those things that traditional hypnotists do, and you very much customize and personalize it for the individual. And I ask questions in the very beginning when I first meet with someone, um, to get the information that I can use later to then assist them with making those their truths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. And then,
Oh,
oh, sorry, no, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. You say what you're going to say. And I have another question
Yeah.
afterwards.
I was just going to mention that. So 5 path, the highly structured advanced system of hypnosis, wonderful and beautiful. But then also for individuals who are interested, I can teach 7th path self-hypnosis, which is basically 5 path, but on your own. It's something you take with you when we're finished, and you have it for the rest of your life to utilize at your convenience at any time. It's your own tool that empowers you to be able to assist yourself when the need arises. It empowers, like I said, take it into your own life each day, however you want to use it. And it's similar to meditation, but it includes powerful built-in process for clearing those undesirable patterns and connecting with a higher sense of self-awareness and purpose. So I appreciate what I do because it fosters independence. I can teach someone, I can help someone get started with the 5 path, and we'll clear away what they came to clear out. And then, we start peeling, as human beings, we start peeling back those layers of that onion, and we get the big stuff out of the way, and some time passes, and we're like, oh, I didn't see that before. And then there's the 7th path that you can use to work on that next layer. So, and then forever and ever, if anything is updated or something changes or someone's like, I forgot what this was, I'm always here for no additional charge to go through that 7th path again and give someone a refresher, because you were using it like a mad person in the beginning, and then you take a break and you're like, wait, what was that piece? Oh, I forgot to write that down. You know, we forget things sometimes when we're not using it. So, yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's great. I mean, tell us a little bit of your personal journey. How did you get interested in hypnosis?
Super interesting. So hypnosis wasn't something that I sought out. It was something that found me,
Hmm.
just at the right time in my life, like most things I find find me. Um, so personally, from a young age, I faced a series of difficult and painful experiences for a very long period of time that shaped how I saw the world and myself. And like many people who experience unpleasant things that result in side effects that they want to adjust or change or manipulate. Um, I spent many years trying a variety of things, searching for ways to heal, grow, transform, and for my outward behavior, for who I wanted to truly represent myself in the world as who I felt that I was on the inside. But I recognized that the things that I had experienced were so deep rooted that the therapy, counseling, mindfulness, personal development, alternative approaches, they could help in different ways, but it felt like everything just kind of at a point, sort of just for me, stopped. And I kept asking myself, man, is there something that can help me truly shift, not just manage the challenges, but actually rewire the patterns and the beliefs that I felt were holding me back? And so then professionally, um, I later in life chose to attend college. Other things were in my life and took a different non-traditional direction. So when I graduated from college, I had my degree in psychology and I loved studying human beings. We're fascinating creatures. And I entered into the workforce with my degree and my career shifted into a place of like working in positions where I had been given the opportunity to make efforts to return the help and support that had been given to me when I was going through all these tools and resources for myself, for self-improvement. And I had the opportunity to make efforts to return that help. And I found that I was having successes with helping others with making desired improvements in their lives through utilization of a variety of like tools and resources. And it's something I've always enjoyed, helping others to empower themselves in whatever way that resonates with them personally. And I came to a point in my career where I was at like this just kind of transition and things changed outside of my control. And I'm like, oh, well, where do I go now? And trusting in the universe the way that I do and that ebb and flow. And it just kind of puts me right where I'm meant to be. This doorway opened in my path and a colleague introduced me to hypnosis as a professional discipline. And honestly, I kind of giggled. I was like thinking of like Bugs Bunny cartoons and stuff. And I was like kind of giggling. I thought she was being silly at first, but not really. Like it just kind of struck me funny. And um, the moment that I experienced hypnosis for myself, like studying it, everything just clicked. I realized that this was a missing link that I'd been searching for, not only for my own healing and growth, but as a way to help others create deep, lasting change without solely relying on traditional approaches or lengthy, ongoing outside interventions. Um, and through my training with five path hypnosis and seventh path self hypnosis, I learned how hypnosis allows people to work directly with the subconscious mind, where all our emotions, beliefs, and habits are stored. And unlike many traditional approaches that focus on coping strategies, which are good, I would never say anything negative about the different people, different techniques, different approaches, different needs. However, the approaches of focusing on coping strategies and managing challenges at a conscious level, for me personally, it wasn't like going the full distance. So hypnosis, uh, working at the subconscious level, uh, helps people to rewire and resolve the root causes of struggles, which is what I was interested in. And I thought, I can't be the only one. And it's gets to those root causes of those struggles, whether it's just stress, confidence, old emotional baggage, or breaking through self-imposed limitations. And now I'm just extremely passionate about marrying like what I loved professionally with what I found personally. And it's just so powerful for me to be able to have experienced that for myself, but then having the opportunity to help others discover resources within themselves to make real lasting changes and to see people step into the version of themselves they've always wanted to be is just
Mhm.
very rewarding.
That's great. That's great. And how long do sessions, when you do the private sessions, how long do those usually go?
So I am a bit non-traditional when I schedule my sessions, once again, based on my experiences working with therapists and counselors as being on the side of receiving that help in a variety of ways over the course of my life. Hearing that little time's up, we'll pick back up, that you're really in the middle of a breakthrough or something really painful or emotional, and you have to come to a dead stop. That was really hard for me at times. So when I started doing this, I thought to myself, how can I reasonably accommodate for that? Because obviously I have to schedule people, so I'm realistic here. But what I've found is that I'll schedule 2 hours with someone,
Mhm.
and some people only need an hour, some people hour and a half, some people 2 hours because and typically, so it's not a set number of sessions. Average 5 to 7 is like an average. It really depends on what someone brings to me and what we talk about, because this is not a decision I make for someone. This is something we discuss. I share with them how this works, what I can do, what they're capable of, and then I gather information about what someone is struggling with, and then we schedule each of those sessions. But since this is a systemized approach, there are different points in when we meet where we're going to cover different topics and discuss different things. And that 2 hours has been beneficial on so many occasions because when we get to a point where we're making a serious breakthrough, I'm not having to cut somebody off because the
Mhm.
beautiful thing about what I do is when we have that conversation about that thing, when we find that thing, that roadblock, at that moment, it might not be the most fun to work through that, but that will be the only time we're going to do it. That I'm not going to ask you to do it again. I'm not going to drag it out of you in another session or cut you off. We're going to finish. We're there. We're going to go all the way and wrap it up. Let's just get it done because I mean, a lot of people believe the way out is through. Let's just get through. And it makes me feel good to see someone have the opportunity to flush that and just like get through it. And then the brightness that comes in is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So about 2 hours a session, 5 to 7 sessions on average, depending. That's a very loose number. I very much try to personalize and structure and tailor everything that's very suited to the individual. Um, I work a very loose schedule. I have like work hours online, but I'm pretty fortunate that I have primarily a pretty flexible schedule. My kids are adults now, so I don't have those restrictions on my schedule like I used to. And so, although I have some set work hours, when I meet with an individual, we all have our schedules and our needs and the time of day that these kind of things are best for us when these things flow a little better. I definitely work with someone to customize and tailor these things to suit their needs because we want to work together when it's the best time of day and best opportunity for you to get not so much for me. I'm just a
Mhm.
facilitator. I'm just a guide. That's all. I have no answers. I have no solutions. I just have this great process that I know how to help you use.
Yeah. I appreciate just all the ways that you make your practice spacious and supportive of people, like allowing them to do the best work, the deepest work, as soon as they can.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing that. I'm proud of that. I spent a lot of my life being told who to be, what to do, how to act, how to look, how to believe. I mean, just constantly someone else's boot on my throat, for lack of a better way to put it. And it was crushing all the time to always be told, you got to be like everyone else. This is how it
Mhm.
works. This is how we do it. This is the way it's always been. And it was disappointing to me how many places you go where you get put into that little box and I'm an individual. I might look like everybody else or kind of do some things like everybody else, but I have needs that are different from each person, and so does every person. And when I chose to do this, I am constantly exploring ways and looking for feedback on how to reasonably, I mean, I have to function to meet someone where they want to meet. Where are you comfortable? What works for you? The only place where I can't budge is this is the process. This is how we do it. This is how it works. If it worked your way, you would have already done it. No, you're coming to me. We're going to do it from A to Z. And this is how it works. And it's powerful. Yeah, thank you.
Mm. Great, great. Well, if people want to learn more about you and connect with you on the web, where do they go?
Well, right now, you can find me on my website that is constantly evolving and growing, starlightmindhypnosis.com. And I have some presences so far on a couple of social media sites. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Nextdoor, and YouTube. You can Starlight Mind Hypnosis, any of those, or by my name, Sandra Scrogum or Sandy Scrogum. Sandra is like my official name. Sandy's what most people call me. I'm much more a Sandy. So you can find my personal pages on Facebook or LinkedIn and then click right over to my business pages so you can scope me out personally and professionally and all those good things and post kitty videos of my kitty cats on my YouTube, and they like to tell you about hypnosis and stuff like that. So they're very informative, very wise. So yeah, I like to get goofy with it, but also try to be just enough serious because, I got to be a grown up. So
Well, thank you so much. So great. It sounds like you're hugely of service, and I'm glad to have you participating in our
Thank
events.
you. Thank you. I'm so excited and grateful to be a part of it.
You're so welcome. It's great. And thank you, all of you, for listening and watching. We're at MeWeFairs.com. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Mhm. Bye.